Hey, what is up, guys? I am here for your next assignment. The next assignment is going to be themed initials. So, essentially, what this is this is still going to be covering your theme. So, hopefully, you guys have a specific theme still chosen out, and you're going to essentially just use the first letter of your names. So my name is Andrew, and my last name is Esteves. So the A is going to be the first letter that I use, and the E is going to be the first letter that I use because it is my last initial. So yeah, Andrew E, A E, right? All right, so we're gonna go straight into it. So, for this assignment, I would like you to create symbolic themed initials using your first and last name tied to your project theme. So, these are going to be 5x5 canvases, which we'll talk about in a little bit on Illustrator. Here is a way to utilize your initials. If you want to combine both your image, your theme, with your image, by all means, that's fine. Like you can totally do this, where it's like I can see the letter B, and then I can see how the theme is still incorporated into it. Same thing here. It's literally just an F with a falcon on it, which is pretty nice. What you're not going to do is you're not going to overlap images. So this one, for example, has a beaver with the letter B being held, right? So we don't want to have that. Here is going to be some past student examples. So this one is humans and the environment. So as you can kind of see here, here is the snake, S. That person's name starts with an S, and then here is an M, right? So they have their initials there. The theme is there. And their artist statement is based on the idea that snakes are more scared of you than you are of it. When we see snakes, we think they are scary beings that will attack, when in reality, they won't attack unless threatened first. The positioning represents how they are scared regardless if humans are non-threatening. Since we are bigger, we are scarier by size. So this is a really good example of contrast of the two, and I really do like the colors. For this, you don't necessarily have to make the colors blend together, only if you really want to. However, as long as the theme is present and we could still tell what's going on, we can still tell what the letters are, that's going to be the most important. So um, don't let the color scheme capsize you. However, size-wise, they still have to be the same size, and they still have to still represent, like I said, your initials. The next one is going to be immigration and migration. The project theme is A for alien, that represents a word that people use for immigrants. M is for migration, that shows two people moving to another place with their backpacks. So this is a very powerful statement. However, I really do enjoy that they use a gradient on the alien, and I could tell that it's an A. And the same thing with the two people holding hands, how it's still an M. All right, yeah. So for this, like I said, your first and last name initials, and then you have to tie it into your theme. So if your theme is identity, your initials could be both positive or opposite compositions. So basically, like they could both complement each other, or they could be contrasting. It's kind of up to you. So example of this is how these two are contrasting, because you have your snake versus the human, and then you have um, the aliens, so to speak, and with the migration, how even though they are still seen in this image as contrasting, they still work really well together, especially with the colors and the imagery. So yeah, we're gonna get straight into the Illustrator. Cool. So, we're gonna do these one by one. I do not want you to have both images in the same spot because when they are printed, they are going to have their own space. So we're gonna do a 5 by 5 for the width and the height. We're still gonna keep it on inches, and we're gonna name this themed initials last name. All right, cool. So now we got our image, right? So remember, we're always going to have our rulers up. So make sure to go to rulers, show rulers. You want to also make sure that you have your navigator, your pathfinder, and your gradient, which all right here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get straight into that. So we're gonna do our rulers. Um, since this is going to be individuals, let's go ahead and just do 1/2 inch. And then the same thing. All right, this is going to be a good placement just because we're going to be able to really center the piece here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get our letter. So let's work on, I'm just going to work on one for this assignment or this video, just for the sake of time. But as you can see, I have both my A and my E. I did humans in the environment. Blue whales from Alaska are becoming extinct due to uh, ship strikes. So basically, the ships are crashing into these whales in Alaska, and they're becoming extinct because of it. So that is what my theme is. That is what my objective for this specific is going to be. So make sure that you do have your theme, and make sure it is strong, and make sure that we can tell what they are, your imagery, and we can also still make out your letters. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab the image. I'm going to hold shift and then just kind of make it a little bit bigger just so I can still see what is going on. I'm going to try to size it within that space that I made. And we want to try to make this as big as possible, only because when these are printed, we don't want them to, oops, we don't want them to not become noticeable. Alright, I think that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to play my music. Okay. Alright, cool. So first things first, I'm going to go to my pen tool. And I think I'm just going to like kind of trace over this. And like there's other ways to do this. You don't necessarily have to do the trace method. If you want to have your letters already spelled out with the actual font tool, you can just do that instead of tracing them. But you still have to manipulate the font to still show the imagery. So what I mean by that, give me 1 second. All right, so Well, actually, we'll just why don't we do a color for once? Let's just do color. I'm gonna go a little crazy with it. So it's only one. It's a blue whale, right? So I gotta represent the blue whales. I think they're probably about this color, maybe. I see that. Yeah. Um, and like, sorry, what I meant by the font is if I literally just select type E, expand it out. Remember, you gotta grab it and then you gotta hold Shift and then bring it out. I could literally just like add my little stuff on it and whatnot. And like the shape is still there of the E, and I could literally just add on top of it. You can do that. I personally am just not going to do that because I like the details on it. But if you do that, I still want there to be some kind of detail that I can still make out what's going on. All right, so yeah, let's go keep continuing. I'm actually going to click this, and I'm going to. I'm just going to keep that there so I can still make out the inside of the details. And I still want to be able to tell that it's an A. So I'm just going to move this in a little bit. It's going to zoom a little bit. Make sure my tail is good. And it is off the line. All right. It is off the line, I think. Well, it's right on the line. It's okay. Anyways, so we're just going to continue with this. I'm going to do the other side. Actually, I'm going to do another layer just because I don't want to mess up the whale. So I'm going to continue to keep making my outlines. Remember, you can hold the selection button and then kind of go back to that. All right. Let's see what it looks like. Oops, I forgot to put the other. It's okay. So we'll just we're gonna go ahead and do another layer. So I still want it to look like the A, right? I still want to be able to see my initial. So from a quick glance, I can still make out the A. So I'm just gonna see what I can do here. Oh wait, no. I'm gonna make the little details here real quick. Actually, I'm gonna change the color real quick. So be like gray. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. Do a little eyeball. All right. I think I'm going to copy, paste this. So we can still kind of see the eye right here. Copy and paste again. All right, so we're just gonna flip it. Oop. Oh, sorry. Before I flip this, I'm actually gonna click on this gray, and I'm gonna click on the grays. So the way I'm doing this is I'm gonna left click, and then I'm gonna hold Shift, and I'm gonna click everything that I want in that same family, and I'm going to group. So basically, what this does is I move it, they all move together. And now I can do object, arrange, bring to front. So the reason why I did that is because when I go to here and I flip it, I can see the outline. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm just gonna hold Shift, do the eyes, group, and then I'm gonna flip it. Whoops, I forgot to bring to front. Okay. Bring to front, and then I'm gonna flip it. Oops. Sometimes when this happens, you can just do object, arrange, send to back, and then flip. And then you can bring this to the front. Oh, it's mixing up. Wait a minute, did I put this on the wrong? No, it's not. Where's this one at? Oh, that's mine. Okay. So I actually put this in the wrong layer. This is just why it's important to lock your layers. Okay, I'm gonna paste again. There you go. So yeah, it's because I didn't put the same stuff in the right blue whales layer. So make sure that you put everything in the right layer for you to be able to see everything. Otherwise, it's just not gonna look right. So yeah, now that I have this going on, I'm just gonna add the final layer, which is the ocean. And then I'm gonna, okay. So now I will, let's see what this looks like without the paper. yeah, I think if I just move this a little bit, I can kind of still see the A. And you can kind of just like manipulate however way you want. Um, I personally am just a perfectionist when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to fix it however way I want it. Yeah, I think that looks like an A now. So what I could also do too is I could click and I can give this another color, like a background or something. Let's just do like a dark blue, right? Bring up the layer, and then the same thing. And if I want to copy the layer or copy the color, I can just go to the eyedropper and bam. Now you can totally see the outlines. All right, so I can see the A now. I can see that there's some waves. Honestly, I might change the color of the waves. What color should I make it? A little bit lighter, maybe. And then I could thicken this out a little bit, maybe. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, this is just my perfectionist piece just kind of coming in right now. I just want to make sure it looks okay for the video. All right. Yeah, there's your A. So, when you uh, when you finish with these, you could always add like a border, and these borders is going to help solidify your image even more. So hang on, let me just fix this real quick. It's going to bother me. It just needs to be tucked in a little bit. Bring this down. Yeah, it looks like an A to me. All right. Yeah, so that's basically like it. Um, when I mentioned border, you can literally just do like, hang on, one more layer. You can try to just, and then flip if you want. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I think I probably wouldn't do this for my own. I'd probably just keep probably without the border. But sometimes, like when you're making like a scenery, the borders really do help keep it all in the same shape and the same picture, so that way that it doesn't look like something more or something less. But yeah, And then yeah, and then you're basically done. And you can kind of just, like I said, you can mess with the gradient if you really, really want to. I personally love gradients. I think it's really fun because you can really mess with the different types of gradient style. I don't know, I kind of like that color too. But yeah, so yeah, it's really up to y'all. What is this? Sorry, I'm having fun with this. Okay, I think I just only did the background. But yeah, so I mean, you can do do it do it however you want. We're just gonna remember always save it as a PDF, named initials, last name. Oh, I'm sorry. Just like for the sake of knowing, because you're making two of these, have it themed initials, and then maybe like the name that you put. So mine is Andrew, so I would put themed initials Andrew, and when you save it as your last name, you would do themed initial themed initials last name. So that way that you don't confuse the two when you make your last name. Oops. So yeah, so file PDF is for printing. File export is for JPEG. Sorry, file file export JPEG is for your website. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just let me know. I know that was a lot, but I think you guys got it. So yeah,